So now let's see how does a code that is CLS compliant looks like, and how does a code that is CTS compliant looks like, and see the behavior of the code that is CTS compliant and the behavior of the code that is CLS compliant. We will also show you what you can do with the code that is CTS compliant and what you can do with the code that is CLS compliant. So after that, we will then go on to write code to show the functionalities or the responsibilities of the CLR, which we said it's the runtime component of the .NET framework or the .NET platform. So without wasting any time, let's jump out and start showing the code. I've already written the code. I am just going to take you step by step to explain the attributes that we use to adorn a namespace that is going to contain a class types inside it which are CLS compliant and which are CTS compliant. So I will go to my applications on Visual Studio, and I will just go to the start page because they are at the top of the list, and this is my class type, and it's written in C#. This is my class type. This is my class library. It's got class types inside. It's got two class types inside it. The one is called not compliant. As you can see, this attribute is the one that we use to adorn that a type is compliant or not. I will explain that just now. And then we have another class type inside this class library, which is CLS compliant. As you can see, the CLS compliant attribute, we make it through here, and it only contains one method, the add numbers. This one has two methods, the add method and the add method. I want you to take a note between these two methods. The only difference between the names of these methods is that the first one has a capital letter A and the second one has the small letter a. C# is a case-sensitive programming language, meaning names written in different, the same name written in different letter cases, it's basically different in C#. But other programming languages are not case sensitive, such as Visual Basics. So names, the same name written in different letters is the same thing, and therefore the compiler for those programming languages won't allow you to have the two methods with the same name but different letters. I am going to show you just now that. The first thing to do when you write a CLS compliant application is to make sure that you adorn the namespace that is going to contain the class types which would be CLS compliant. So you can't write a class type inside a namespace which is not a class type which is CLS compliant without adorning the namespace containing that class types with the attribute. And this is how we do it here at line 7. We are adorning the namespace CLS compliant program with this attribute saying it's true. We are basically telling the compiler now we are going to have class types inside this namespace which are CLS compliant. So we can have class types inside this namespace which are not CLS compliant, which are CTS compliant, but we will have to specify for those class types. When we don't want them to be CLS compliant, we have to specify the same attribute CLS compliant, but give it a parameter which is false. When we want to make a class types to be CLS compliant, we give it a Boolean true parameter. So let's start with this one. This one, it's not compliant, it's CTS compliant, meaning it will allow me to use the C# unique features or the programming constructs or types within these class types. I will be allowed to use the class types inside this class that are not that are unique to C#. What am I saying here? I say this class type not compliant is not CLS compliant, meaning I will be allowed to use features that are unique to this programming language. In this instance, it's the C# language. Yeah? So I'm not restricted to a set of rules that involve you making use of the programming constructs which are common amongst the .NET AUE programming languages. So the problem with these class types is that there would be programming .NET AUE programming languages which will not be able to consume these class types. We don't guarantee that they would be, but we don't guarantee that they will be able to consume the class type.